Hello friends, welcome to this video. This is Rohit. Friends, in today's video we are going to learn about how to process HTML form using PHP script. So whatever data user will submit through HTML form, so how we can collect that data within certain PHP script and how we can display that data. So let's start. So first of all, we will try to understand what is HTML form and why we need to use HTML form. Okay. So as we know friends, PHP is mainly used for creating web applications. So HTML forms play an important role within web application. So basically friends, HTML form is a section of your web page, you can say, which contains various form controls like text box may be there, buttons may be there, radio buttons, checkbox, list box, combo box, etc. So the main purpose behind creating HTML forms within web page is to collect data from user. So friends, web application may need certain external data from user in order to perform certain task. So how we can collect data from user? So the facility is HTML form. So HTML form is a provision in order to collect a data from user over the web application. So that's why within HTML form we have variety of form controls that allow us to collect different types of data from user, and collected data can be used by web application in order to perform certain task. For example friends, you can collect the name of user, you can collect the email address of user, phone number of user, city of user, address of user, etc. So whatever data user will submit through HTML form, it will be collected within PHP script and it may be sent to the certain database for storing it in a permanent manner. Okay, so later on your application may use that data in order to perform certain task. So basically you need HTML forms within your application in order to collect the data from user. So for example, you want to allow your user enter within your system based on his username and password. So how you will collect his username and password from him? So you can present him a login form. Okay, so there will be two text boxes. First will be for username, second will be for password. So user will fill out his data and he will submit his data. So collected data will be sent to the server for further processing, and on server you can validate his username and password, and if it is correct, if it is valid, you may allow him to enter within your system. So this is the simplest example. Another simple example I will try to give you friends. All of us uses Google for searching variety of information over the web. Okay, so how basically you ask your query to the Google? So how Google is collecting our query? So they are presenting us this simple text box where we have to enter our query. Means Google is collecting our query with help of simple HTML form. So next thing we will try to understand what are various forms attributes. Friends, whenever we will create HTML form within our web page, then we need to specify certain attributes with form tag. So first attribute is the name of form. So within a single web page you may have n number of forms available. So how to identify specific form? So you may specify name for your form. So to specify name of form, we can use name attribute. Second attribute we have method. Friends, how the collected data should be submitted to a server for further processing, it will be decided by the method attribute. So there are two methods available for HTML form. First method is called get method and second method is called post method. Friends, while understanding the example of HTML form processing, I will try to talk more about this get and post method. So right now you just understand how your data should be transferred from your client to server will be decided by method of a form. So there are two possible value, get or post, and by default value is get. Next attribute we have ENC type. So friends, while transferring files from your client to server, we need to specify this ENC type attribute. It is basically specifying the encryption type. So whenever you want to upload your file from client to server, then you must have to specify this ENC type attribute. Friends, if you don't specify this ENC type attribute, then you won't be able to collect the submitted files in PHP script, and its value is multipart /form -data. And at last you have fourth attribute, no validate. So friends, when you specify this attribute to your HTML form, then server will not validate this submitted data. It will simply process it directly. So these are the four various form attributes that you can specify. Now next we will try to understand what is HTML form validation and what are its types. So HTML form validation is a simple process of testing to ensure that the user has filled the required information in proper formatting through the HTML form. So the purpose of HTML validation is to check whether user has submitted right data or not. If user has submitted wrong data, then you need to notify your user that he has filled wrong data and you cannot process with this data, because if you store wrong data within your database, then obviously you will get wrong results. So in order to prevent from storing wrong data within our database, we should validate the submitted data with help of HTML form validation process. Friends, to understand the concept of validation, you can visit any popular website which will consist certain registration form or login form. So friends, if you provided any wrong data within registration form or login form other than whatever that website is expecting from you, they will immediately notify you, they will immediately show an error to you. So for example, I will show you. Okay, and we will try to sign in with certain Gmail account. So here this is HTML form. Okay, so here you can see they are asking you your email address with help of text box, and there is one button next. Okay, now friends, here they are expecting email address, but if you enter something else like this, you can see here immediately it is showing message that could not find Google account. This is called form validation, because this is not expected data. This is something invalid data, improper data. That's why it cannot process with this data and it will show you an error message. So you cannot proceed with wrong data. So to prevent user from proceeding with wrong data, you can use validations with your HTML form. So friends, there are two types of validations. First type is called client-side validation, and second type is called server-side validation. So friends, from their name itself you can understand what will be client-side and what will be server-side. Client-side validation occurs within your browser itself before the data has been submitted to the server. That's why it is called client-side validation. So here your client is your browser. So this validation is performed within your browser itself, within your client itself. That's why it is called client-side validation. And friends, to implement client-side validation, popularly JavaScript is used. So JavaScript is client-side scripting language, and it is basically used for making your web pages dynamic. So main role of JavaScript is implementing the validation of HTML form. So basically this client side validation is used to provide quick response or feedback to the user. So as soon as user will submit his data, immediately you can provide response or feedback to the user regarding what wrong data he has provided. So feedback like highlighting the text box, as I just shown you in case of Gmail login. Okay, so with red color we are highlighting our text box, and which is indicating something wrong or invalid data has been entered. Friends, you can also implement client-side validation with help of built-in HTML form validation features. For example, required. So this required attribute you can add to your form field, so it will force user to provide the value of that form control. So without providing that value, the form will not get submitted. Second category we have server side validation. So from its name you can understand server side validation basically occurs on a server after the form data has been submitted. You can use this server side validation in order to validate the data before it will be used by our application or before it will get saved within the database. If you store wrong data within your database, which will be later on used by your web application, then definitely it will produce something unexpected results, something wrong results, because you have processed the wrong data. If the validation fails, a response is sent back to the client from where request was initiated or from where the data was submitted, and it will suggest the corrections to the user. So again user can submit the correct data with correct format. You can implement server side validation using any server side language. So for example, PHP may be there, JSP may be there, ASP may be there, .NET may be there. Any server side language you can use in order to implement this server side validation. Now friends, there is one more important difference here between the client side validation and server side validation. So in case of client side validation, the validation is depends on browser setting. For example, you can enable or you can disable support for JavaScript within your web browser. So friends, if user has disabled the support for JavaScript, then obviously the JavaScript code will not get execute and your validation will get fail over there. Means the client side validation is depends on browser settings, but in case of server side validation, it is independent of client setting. So no matter what settings you have within your browser, because ultimately the validation is to be performed on server. That's why it is independence of browser settings. Server side validation is far more secure than client side validation, as user cannot see the code even he try to view the source code of your web page. But in case of client side, you can view the source code and you can see what code is implemented in order to perform the validation. So friends, if possible, you should go with server side validation for validating your data. So here the validation is required to prevent the web form abuse by the malicious users. So improper form validation may expose your web application to attackers and they may use your application in wrong way. So there are different types of attacks that may down your application, like SQL injections, header injections, cross-site scriptings, etc. So to protect your application from malicious users, form validation plays a crucial role. Now friends, we will try to understand how to create HTML form. So in order to create HTML form, we have to use this form tag. So form tag is used for creating a form within HTML. In HTML, the form tag basically provide the section where we can accept input from user. So as we know now, it provides various controls for collecting data from user. So we have to use form and /form, these two tags, in order to create the form. Here the form tag do not create form itself, but it acts as a container here, which may contain the different form controls. So what different form controls it can contain? So here it is a list of various form controls that you can include within form and /form tag. So text box, text area, radio button, checkbox, list box, combo box, file input, button, submit button, reset button. So all these are variety of form controls that can be used within this form and /form tags. Now friends, I will try to show you a simple HTML form example. So here I have already created one file, index.php, which consists one HTML form. So this form is basically created within Bootstrap framework, and within this form we are having two input fields and one submit button. So I will show you now how this form looks. So here friends, you can see there is a form and /form tag, and between this we have included all our controls. Okay. So here I will type localhost /formdemo/index.php. Now friends, you can see this is our basic HTML form. So here we are trying to collect the first name and last name of user, and there is one submit button through which this data will be submitted for further processing. Now friends, we will try to understand what PHP methods and super global array variables we have to use while processing the HTML form with PHP script. So there are three super global array variables we can use in order to process the HTML form, and one method is there, each set. So we will try to understand them one by one. Now friends, if you remember at the start of this session, I told you that there can be two types of form methods, get or post. So friends, whenever you submit your form with help of get method, then the submitted data can be collected with $_get super global array variable. Now why it is super global? Because it will be available for all pages within your web application, and it is array variable because within your form you may have multiple controls which will contain multiple data. So all that data will be submitted by your form and it will be collected within this super global array variable. If your form has get method, then you need to collect data using $_get super global array variable. Now next friends, if your form has post method, so you can collect the data using $_post super global array variable. There is one more super global array variable called $_request. So this request variable can be used for collecting data that is submitted using get method or post method. No matter what method your form have, you can still able to collect this submitted data with help of $_request super global array variable. So these are three super global array variables which are used for HTML form processing with PHP script. And at last there is one method eachSet. So this eachSet method is used for testing whether a variable is containing certain value or not. If variable contains value, it returns true value, otherwise false. Now friends, we will try to demonstrate you how we can process HTML form with certain PHP script. Okay, now what scenario we will try to create here? So whatever data user will fill within this form, and whenever he will click on send data, we will redirect him on certain PHP file where we will collect data and where we will display data. So for this, now I will try to modify this basic HTML form code. So what changes I am making here, observe now. So first of all, for this form tag, I will try to specify name of form. Let's say user details, any meaningful name you can specify here. Then next to that, I will specify here method. Friends, if I don't specify this method attribute, by default the method of this form will be get method, and whenever you will submit your data with help of get method, the submitted data will be visible within the URL. Now I will try to demonstrate that one as well. So here we will specify method as get, and then next attribute I need to specify action. So after submitting this form, where our user should get redirected, that will be defined with help of action attribute. Suppose we want to redirect him on file called process.php. So our action value will be process.php. So all these attributes we need to specify to our HTML form like this. Now next important thing, whatever form controls we are using, so for that form controls we have to specify the name attribute, because while collecting this submitted data we are going to require that. So for this first name control, I will specify name is equal to fname, and for this last name control, I will specify name is equal to lname. Like this we will specify the name for our controls, and at last I will specify name for submit button. So let's say submit itself. And one more thing I need to change here, I will type here input type submit. Okay, and I will remove this, and we don't need this. Instead of this, we will specify your value send data. Now if I try to fill certain data here, and if I click on send data button, now you can see friends, we are getting redirected to the process.php. Still we have not created this file, that's why it is saying not found. And friends, you can see here in the URL, whatever data we have submitted through form, it is visible within the URL. So whenever you have method get for your form, whatever data you submit through form, all that data is visible within the URL. And basically you use get method whenever you want to send certain small amount of data. Now we will try to create the process.php file. So here I will create new file, and we will save this file within the same directory with name process.php. And within this file, now I will initialize our PHP script with this canonical PHP block, and here I will write message echo processing form data. Now here I will try to add h1 tag, so we will be able to see the data in larger font. Okay, now you can see we are getting this output, means we are getting redirected to the correct file. Now next thing, how to collect and display the submitted data. So observe here friends, we have used method here get. Okay, now as we learn, whenever our form has submitted its data using get method, we have to use a super global array variable called $_get in order to collect the submitted data. Okay, so its syntax is very simple. Write down any variable name here, let's say fname, and in front of this we will write $_get, and here you need to specify the field name which data you want to collect. So go to your form and see the field name of first name. So you can see here the name of this field is fname. Okay, so here we will write fname. So friends, after submission of your form, all submitted data will get collected within this $_get super global array variable, and you can retrieve data from this array variable with help of your form control name. So what is our control name here? fname. So whatever value is submitted through fname control, it will get retrieved and stored within this fname variable. In same way, I will collect the another value, that is lname. So only you need to change the field name here, that is lname. So here I will change lname. So like this we will have our data within this variable now. So we can display the value of these variables. Okay, so suppose I will copy this code and we will paste it here like this, and I will show you now if I print the value of fname. So here I will write h1, first name is, and here I will write $fname. Okay, and I will copy this and here we will paste, and we will modify it to the last name like this. Now friends, if you go and refresh, you can see we are getting our data. Now if we submit our form with another value, you can see here we are getting this data. So whatever data you will submit, you can display the data in this way. Now friends, you can also insert this data to the database. Simply you need to connect this PHP script to your database server and you need to fire insert query. Okay, so your collected data will get inserted within HTML form. Now friends, this is how we can process our form if our form is having get method. Now I will try to show you. If I change this method to post, so here instead of $_get, we have to use $_post variable. So here as well I will make change like this, and rest of the things will be as it is. Okay, so here we have seen if our form has post method, then we should collect the data using $_post variable. So here we are collecting our data using $_post. Now friends, if you have n number of controls available within your form, same kind of statements you can write for every control. So whatever data is submitted through that control will get collected within respective variables like this. Now if we go back and if I reload this file, we will try to submit our data again. Now friends, our form is having post method, and while using post method, the submitted data is not visible within the URL, exactly opposite to the get method. Okay, now if I click on send data, friends, you can see here in URL we have only process.php as a file name. We do not have any data here. So while using post method, the data which is submitted through HTML form is not visible within the URL, and post method is basically used when you want to send certain large amount of data to the server. So next to that, now I will try to demonstrate you if your form is having get method or post method, you can collect data using $_request. Okay, now our form is having post method. So let's try to collect using $_request. So here I will replace this with $_request like this. Same I will try to replace here as well. And let's try to check what happened. So again I will reload this file and we will submit our data. You can see here we are getting our data here. So like this, these super global array variables can be used for processing the HTML form through certain PHP script. Now friends, there is one more function we have, is set function. So this function basically used for checking whether certain variable has value or not. So if your variable has value, it will return true, otherwise false. So we can use this isSet function here. If isSet $_request, and I will specify here the name of submit button like this. So if the value of submit button is set, means form is submitted and we can process the form. And if value of submit button is not set, means form is not submitted, and we will display message else echo. Here I will write h1, form is not submitted like this. Okay, now here I will refresh and you can see we are getting our data. But now I will reload this file and directly I will jump to localhost form demo process.php. Okay, now you can see here friends, we are getting output form is not submitted because the isSet function has returned false value to if. That's why the if block is not getting executed and else part is getting executed, where we are printing form is not submitted. So like this, to test whether form is submitted or not, you can use this isSet function and you can pass your $_request or $_get or $_post variable to this isSet function. So if variable is set, if variable contains value, it will return true, otherwise false. Now friends, I will try to show you how you can force your user to submit certain value, okay, without which your form will not get processed. So here right now, if we just enter the first name value and click on send data, you can see form is getting submitted, and here you can see the last name is missing. So if you want to force your user to provide value of first name and last name, what you can do? So within form, simply you can specify the required attribute to your form controls like this. Okay, and here as well we will specify it. So now if I go and refresh my form, and if I just provide the first name value and click on submit, you can see it is prompting us to submit the last name value as well. Okay, so friends, if I submit both values, then and then only form will be submitted. Okay, so if I miss any value, it will display message like this. So until and unless user will not provide all these values, the form will not get submit. This is the built-in feature of HTML5. You can also do this with help of PHP language. So whenever user will submit his form, you need to check the value of first name and last name. if value is not set to first name or last name, you need to display message to the user, and accordingly user will provide the value. Friends, in this example we have seen that after submitting the form data, user is getting redirected to the process.php, means another file. But if you want to redirect him on same file where your form consists, so you can also redirect him. Okay, means we want to redirect our user on index.php itself, and we want to display the submitted data. So how we can do that? So let's try to see here. Now in the action attribute, we have to specify the value like this, echo. So here we have to use one super global array variable called server, and its value will be php_self. So this file will get redirected on same web page. Then I will try to copy the code from process.php. So friends, after this /form tag, I will place this code like this. Okay, and now let's try to check what output we will have. Now friends, you can see here after our form we are getting this output. Okay, so now I will try to show you. If I submit this form and if I click on send data, you can see here we are getting this output. Friends, you can also check whether form is submitted or not, and after submitting form only you can display this data. So how you can do that? So for that you need to change little bit code here like this. If, and here I will check if $_post its count is greater than 0, means form is submitted. Okay, and we can process the submitted form data, else form is not submitted. Okay, so now if I go and refresh, now you can see friends, form is not submitted. That's why we are not getting any text here as an output. So if I submit form, you can see we are getting text. So this text will appear only if the form is submitted, otherwise it will not appear. So like this you can test whether form is submitted or not, and if form is submitted you can process the data, means you can display the data to the user. Okay, so like this we can process HTML forms with help of PHP script. Friends, if you find this video useful, please like and share this video. I will see you in next video. Thank you for watching.